All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the live stream tonight. I hope everybody had a wonderful Friday and a wonderful week and a wonderful last weekend. Earl's the first one on here. He beat out Jake from State Farm, and of course, that's because Jake's wearing khakis. So that just kind of goes with the territory. But let's see if Jake from State Farm gets over here and sells some insurance because I need new rates anyways. So I'm gonna definitely have to get that. Oh, there's Jake. See, Earl got on, and then he said he was first, and he said he beat out Jake from State Farm. We were talking about you wearing khakis, Jake. So, unfortunately, that could be something. Derek, what's going on? Thanks for joining tonight. It's super awesome to have you. Oh man, we got the party started here. I believe Mike's on. We're all bouncing some texts back and forth talking about we're talking about where we want to fish this weekend and trying to kind of figure that all out. We're looking at the passes going over the coast, and it may or may not be conducive. I don't know yet. I do know that yeah, you could sell me insurance, and Derek will align my car tires. All right, yeah, that works out good. I know that's legitimate on Derek's end, but Jake, I don't know about the whole car insurance sales, but I do need the new rates. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be shopping that, and it could be State Farm for all I know. Anyways, yeah, we're trying to figure out. Okay, do we want to brave the passes if they're a little bit dicey to get over to the coast and chase some steelhead? I know there's herring down in Yaquina right now. That's really hard for me to turn away from. Yeah, you're going to be down there tomorrow, Earl. I was just talking to Sarah. It sounded like the wind may have scared them away, but I know that they may be down there Sunday. I don't know yet. I'm not available to go tomorrow. We're going to have the grandbaby tomorrow. Well, the young one, anyways. So we're gonna be busy with him and doing all kinds of stuff with the little guy, So um, that's all right, Jake. If you can't stay, that's fine. Obviously we had a pretty good day yesterday, so we'll circle back around. No big deal. Um, yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow scares a lot of people away for you. That way you don't have a loaded up bay. Hopefully the herring are holding in nice big tight bait balls, and you get your load of herring, everything that you need. So I definitely need a bait run, that's for sure. So uh, I'm hoping here sooner than later I'll be able to get down there. WDFW just announced a another smelt dip for next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, March 5th, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., there is going to be another smelt dip on the Cowlitz River. This time they're actually extending further upstream. So the folks that got the tickets this last time, they would now be in the legal fishing area. So, but that wasn't the case a couple weeks ago. So they're actually letting people expand upriver, which will actually decompress the bank a little bit. Of course, being on a weekday afternoon, that also helps with the amount of people. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go. So I'm going to have to settle for herring, even though smelt seems to be the hot bait for sturgeon right now. But I know a good old black or blue label herring can get the job done. So if you're watching this and you're wondering when you can go out and dip smelt, Tuesday, March 5th, 2024, you can. And it's going to be from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. and it's going to start down at the Highway 432 bridge. And I can't remember where the cutoff is, but it will be available. So hopefully folks can get out there and check that out. So hopefully be able to get out there and get some herring before they're all gone. My friend Jim actually just sold his boat, so now he's in the market for a new boat. One similar to Jake's boat, or even yours, Earl. He wants the high sides though, like Jake's. So he's been looking at Raiders, Boltons, Duckworths. So he's been doing some research, and so hopefully Jim finds himself a new boat. That's easier said than done. He called me up and he says the two happiest days of a boat owner: the day they buy it, and the day they sell it. So he was pretty excited to do that. So um, it might, if you had the time off, Earl, it's definitely a fun fishery. Get out the dip net, go out there, dip up some smelt, and get your 10 pounds. It does. They're delicious to eat. So they're they're really good. So, anyways, let's see. I got Mike messaging here in the mix of everything. Of course, he's got to hold up a picture holding a steelhead. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, Mike. I hope you're watching because I just saw your picture. So, but yeah, Earl, a lot of people they're not going to be able to get off in time, so or at all, and I'm going to be in the thick of work. And if I could escape, I would. I would leave early enough that I could run up there to Longview and get out there, dip another 10 pounds of smelt, and get it back home. But unfortunately, I'm actually covering for another instructor this on Thursday or Tuesday. So I'm double dutied up. So I'm running my own class and another class. So that's the whole thing. Yeah, Mike, you look happy in that picture. So it was a pretty decent steelhead from last year. He had got it on a short bus spinner actually, and he lost it once, and then he threw the spinner back out and he hooked it again and landed it. And I believe when we scaled it, it was somewhere in the 12-pound range. I got a picture of it hanging from the back shackle on my drift boat. So and it was dangling off the ground, and the back of my drift boat sits up pretty high. So it was a pretty cool fish. We actually had pulled off and we said, oh, let's just go fish down the bank. We'd already floated through a massive rainstorm and all that. So anyways, so what's everybody else been up to? Enough about me and Mike and all of our follies and adventures. Of course, we're catching steelhead. That goes without saying. Rivers are blown out right now, but they will drop into shape down on the coastal systems this weekend. So that should be pretty promising for anybody trying to get out there and chase steelhead. I do know that the wind is going to be a factor for a lot of this stuff. What's up, Kyle? Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully, your river drops into shape by Sunday. Hopefully, it's looking like a lot of the smaller systems are going to drop into shape. Get that big, fresh push of fish coming up. So, no, Kyle, you're at work, so there's no fashionably late. You get all the clemency and excuse in the world, unlike Jake from State Farm. But anyways, he took off. So unless he's still drifting around. But there when you got to work, and it doesn't always work out. I pop into Earl's lives every Monday. Literally, when you start your live, Earl, I have one class. I have a lecture. I'm done with my lecture. I'm transitioning into lab, and I have like 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm gonna pop into Earl's live, say hi, talk to say, hey, what's up, everybody? Hopefully give you 10 minutes of time, and then I basically have students sitting there while I'm like trying to message and everything else. They're like, oh, when can we do this, when can we do that? It's like little kids running around. So um, yeah, it's good. Not everybody's coming in for their 24 pack to the market there. So or hopefully they got that at 5 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock when they got off work. So um, oh, no, okay, Mike, oh, is the show on? Yes, it is. I'm live talking about you. Now we'll get Mike on. Now it'd be like, oh, what are you saying? Willie, what's going on? It's past your bedtime, Willie. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for staying up long enough. If you do need to go to bed, I understand it. Let's see. Just started raining. Supposed to continue through tomorrow. Antique stores, Willie. Nothing wrong with that at all. You might as well get out there to the antique stores and find some more reels to repair. For those of you that don't know, make sure to go over to The Great Outdoors. That's spelled Grayt. Outdoors. Go over. Make sure that you sub to Willie and check that out. So. Great. Now we have Willie here. We have Earl. Earl's the comedian. He's. Here we go. We have Willie and Earl. Both of them are comedians, technically. So We'll get the comedic relief over here in the chat comments and everything else. So, great. Now we have Willie here. Um, so, hopefully, Willie. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Chasing Dreams, he's here now too. So we're starting to get everybody rounding up and getting around. So this week, let's see what happened this week in fishing. Well, the rest of you, Earl, you're going out tomorrow. You're going to be chasing the herring. I wish I could get out tomorrow to do that, but there again, can't. But you're going to be on the herring, so you'll probably be getting pretty stocked up on bait. Um, all that stuff. Joe, welcome. Heidi and Joe, Jackie Joe Fishing, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Glad seeing you here, Joe. Um, yeah, Kyle, it seems to work out like that. Like yesterday, went out with Jake, hitch by hitch. He brought the boat up here, and we went out and we sturgeon fished. We thumped 7 fish, so that was a pretty good day. 2 6-footers, 2 5-footers, and 3 shakers. What we call that. We actually put one down on the floor, and we measured it, and it was. I said, "Oh, that's just a little baby," and fork to tip and nose was 36 inches. So that was a 3-foot fish, and it just appeared to be a lot smaller to me, but our shakers were all either in that 36 to 42 inch range yesterday, so they were still fun. They still ate the whole fish that we put down there. We yeah, he told me he lost all of his footage, unfortunately, but I got footage, so that all worked out really well. So that was good. Uh, I wonder if Josh is on here now too, because we're in a group chat, all of us fishing buddies here. So, yeah, it was really sad. And he went down herring fishing today. Nothing will replace, the mass of the fish that we were nailing. Just to give you a recap, he got video of it. I didn't. I got a 6-footer up, and we got videos of all of his big fish and everything else. So that was good. But I got a 6-footer up, and I've got kind of accustomed to it. It sounds sick and twisted, but I've got accustomed to reeling them up. I get this one up, and its tail comes out, and it just goes pow right next to the boat. It just, I mean, it had an echoing slap. It overpowered the road noise and the city noise there where we were fishing. Echoed off the bluff and everything else. It put a good slap down. Kevin Hawthorne. Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Kevin, thank you so much for joining the live chat. It's so great to have you here. Thank you so much. We need to get over and get Kevin set up as a moderator. Earl, are you capable of doing that, or is that something that I need to do? Because I have you as a managing moderator. That's one of those things. So Earl just dropped a link for his channel. Make sure slide over there and get that covered. Let me pop in really quick and get Kevin covered. Keep an eye on the chat. Let's make sure that we bring you on as a moderator. I really appreciate it. Ottercat, how's it going? I'm going to get you taken care of on that as well. So, and Kyle, you're upgrading your CPU, doing all that good stuff. So, it definitely will make a big difference. So, let's see. We're going to go. And Ottercat, you are now a moderator as well as Kevin, so you guys can share links, you can post stuff, and do all that as well. So I appreciate you guys stopping in and everything else and checking it out. So really appreciate it. So anyways, welcome to all the new faces and folks here for the live chat. So yeah, it was pretty tragic. Jake lost a lot of fantastic footage, but I got good footage. We got 3 fish on mine. That's all the good stuff there. So, we will have, next week we'll have a good one. This week's video was from a couple weeks ago, and I had Justin Carnop out. So Justin was making his way through town, and so Justin's the owner of CD Fishing USA. If you recall back to my podcast days, for most of you, him and his wife Lauren did the February Room podcast. And so Justin, he's in the process of a business transaction to actually own CD Fishing and the Tri-CD brand here in the United States. And so we thought this would be a great time to market that rod, especially since it is a saltwater multitasking, multi-purpose rod. We wanted to put something really big on the end of it. And he had sent it to his friend who was on a fishing trip in South America, and he got a 200-pound arapaima, which, if you're familiar with the show River Monsters, you know what an arapaima is. It's a very high-speed, aggressive, freshwater Amazonian fish. It's native to the Amazon basin. They're known for jumping out of the water and flying like a missile at the angler. You know, that was kind of one of those things. And so nonetheless, his friend got a 200-pound arapaima, so it's like, okay, let's go ahead and max this thing out. So Mike, my good buddy Mike from Fisherman's, he got me hooked up with this awesome Penn Spin Fisher 4 spinning reel. And I kind of debated back and forth. He's like, you'll never go wrong with a Penn, ever. And you know, Mike spent a lot of time in Southern California saltwater fishing and all that kind of stuff. So he's a fantastic resource for big game heavy reels, whether it's a conventional level wind or a spin fishing reel. So great resource for that. And we were talking about it, and I pulled this thing apart. It's got green grease in it, and it's just really tough. And so we strapped a Penn Spin Fisher 4 on my all rod. Justin put the Kymar 6500 on his. That's a Okuma reel, which is they're a good reel for the price and everything else. We both he was running 50-pound braid. I ran 80-pound braid. I've just learned through the years of doing this with a spin reel that you got to kind of beef the braid up. The sturgeon are blind as bats. They don't care anyways. They're not line shy, nothing like that. And we proceeded to whack that. I guesstimated it by the length of my boat to where everything was about a 75-inch sturgeon. So, you know, about 6'5", 6'4", kind of in that range. So it was a fairly healthy sturgeon. And Justin's a fairly tall guy, so when he's holding it there in the water, it doesn't look like a super big sturgeon, but you can tell it's definitely oversized. My whole hand went into its mouth, so that's how you know that they're big. We got the hook out of it. He sent it on its way, and we had only picked up a shaker that day. But that video there was to showcase the CD all salt rod. And any of you that I get the chance to get out on the salt with again, Earl, anybody else, I'll set that rod up and you guys can all have a shot at trying it out. It does have incredible action, and the cool part is it comes in that case and it fits really well. So it's a really good setup. Other stuff going on. Got a keeper steelhead this last weekend, and there again, thanks to Mike for the assist on that one. We were all down there fishing. We had a jackass and a sled decide to fish right over the top of us. And one of the young men down there definitely had words with him. He actually casted over their bobber dogging lines, which they kind of deserved anyways. Bank etiquette or boat etiquette to bank anglers, very important. One thing I will say is that it's one thing to pass by bank anglers. You know, that's totally fine in your boat. If you're running a jet, you're in a small river, it's a part of the game. We expect it. Wave, say hi. You know, hell, we'll invite you over for coffee if you want. If you want to come over and talk and be cool, it's not a big deal. But don't go to the top of the run and start fishing over the top of the bank, guys. You know, I own a boat. Most of the folks that are talking here own a boat, with the exception, Kyle, you don't own a boat. I don't know, Ottercat, if you own a boat, or any of the other folks, but, you know, Earl, you have a boat. You know, Jake's got a boat. And one thing is that we have that autonomy and the freedom to move around the river. And so if we're going to be fishing in those tight quarters, and I know, Earl, you don't fish the river too much. I don't know, Matt, if you're really fishing too much of the river. But, you know, if you got bank guys, just give them berth. You know, give them space. It's not that big of a deal. Boat guys, it can turn into combat fishing. You look at a buoy 10 situation, or, you know, any kind of tide water that's got enough room and volume and a good push of fish coming in. You know, just give folks berth. You know, give them some space and do that. Yeah, Earl, you're not going to run into that. If somebody can cast that far, I want to meet that guy. But, you know, it just goes without saying, you know, even passing in and out of the jetty, you know, when you got folks jetty fishing, you know, it wouldn't be cool for a boat to pull up right next to the jetty and start jigging right next to those people. I think that'd be, you know, just a really rude thing to do. But anyways, guys, blow down. I changed out to this 1/4 ounce marabou jig, and it's, standard old nightmare, and threw it out there. I think it was the second or third cast. It hooked the fish. Mike came in for the assist, and it worked out really good. So that was a really good thing. And Joe, you have a boat too. Um, and you're over in the high lakes country, so you do have the potential to be around a few bank anglers, but more than likely, that's one of those other inferences. I'm reading the comments as we're going along here, so Kyle, definitely would be nice to have a nice little raft. That would be really cool. Um, yeah, Earl, you're way out there in outer space. Ottercat, you've had some touchy moments on the water, but you have respect, but a very short fuse. Yeah, I think a lot of folks have a short fuse with that. And of course, Willie, put on that 2 pound test, you'll cast coast to coast. That Johnson Century, little 16th ounce jig, you just whip it right out there on that little ultralight. That's the beauty of those little spin casters with that light line, you just. The cool part of the Abumatic that you sent me, Willie, when I cast it, it goes woo like that. It's got like this little cute little like that. I think you put like 6 pound trout magnet line on it or something like that. Casts great. I mean, you put a spinner on it or whatever else. Tons of fun to use, by the way. All that stuff. Yeah, I already know about the last time you guys were on the ocean there, Earl. Matt, yeah. Drone fishing. Now, I don't know if that's something that's legal here. Somebody in the comments want to go look that up. But that would be the ultimate way to fish the surf out here. You get your drone, get your big reel. Go see Mike. He'll set you up with a reel with about 800 million yards of line. Go put a whole whatever on it out there. Go do some surf fishing for sharks. I think that would be fun on the Oregon coast because, well, it was kind of funny. A couple weeks ago, there was a news story. A salmon shark washed up on the beach, and I think it was at Sunset Beach, and people were scared to grab it. Well, it kind of looks like a great white, but it ain't gonna bite you. It's just a little baby. Oh, the regs say no drones. All right, well, that's answered. Thanks, Matt. As a little baby salmon shark, there wasn't anything to it. And the lady's over there, she's like, "Oh my God, it's a great white." Well, it's a salmon shark. It's this little tiny. It's a cute little guy. Yeah, he's got big razor teeth. I'm sure he'd tear you up, but I mean, don't put your hand near its mouth. It ain't gonna bite you. And she's over there. She basically perforated the thing, trying to poke at it to move it out. And it's like, come on, just turn it around, get it out in the surf. It'll swim away nice and strong. But I think it would be fun to surf fish for those guys. Put a big old 16-knot J hook on, 200-pound test leader, run that thing out there. Like shad fishing. You put a whole shad on there, or get one of our big herring, or even lash up a couple herring like you do for halibut. Fly that thing out there, pop that thing off, and do that. I think it would be. I think that'd be a blast, just to catch those guys out of the surf. It'd be a little tricky getting them back out there, if you had a real rough surf, but they'd get back out. That'd be a lot of fun. You went after shark with spear fishing, Matt? That would be cool to see. Oh, the traffic jam on your first drift on that trip. Was there a lot of people out in your area there? Wow. I'm just reading through the comments again. Made it your first stop and got swarmed. Well, maybe it's because Earl was on the boat. They saw Earl. They're like, "Oh, there's the reef robber. We're gonna go over there because he's gonna rob this reef." Out there going after some sea bass. Oh boy, lots of fun. Let's see. Yeah. So anyway, oh, were they jerks? Yeah, that's not cool. There's no reason to be rude out there on the ocean. A lot of things can happen on the ocean, like your motor can go, or you can get hit with a rogue wave and get inundated with water and swamp, and a lot of times, there's a lot. Oh, snagged his line. Not good. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong out in the ocean. The last thing you want to do is be a jerk to people out in the ocean, because you can go adrift. And Hawaii's a long ways away and Japan's a long ways away. So you don't want to be out there without folks that want to help you. I don't think, no matter how rude somebody got, I don't think people would abandon somebody out there in the ocean. But your likelihood to get instant help is going to probably go down. I know the Coast Guard would really probably go out there, and they would be out there very fast, especially where we're fishing at a lot of the time. But you still don't want to be in that trouble and not have good folks around you. So it's kind of one of those things. But I'm not going to make it to the SAA Derby this Saturday. I figure that Logan will be there and a few other folks. I'm not going to be able to make it to that though. We got stuff going on here at home Saturday. So the best opportunity for me to get out fishing is going to be Sunday. And right now it looks like the crew is really pointing fingers towards hitting the coast to go do some steelhead fishing. So sounds like that might be in the cards here, depending on how the passes look and everything else. We got some other options, but coast rivers are going to probably be in pretty good shape. Even if we go chase high fin fish for fun, we'll probably end up down at some of our favorite little places on Sunday. So let's see what else. So last week I had Blake on, and I didn't get a chance to show everybody this, and this is something that is pretty cool. It weighs a lot. But Mike and Jason over at Fisherman's, they were kind enough to get me set up with this guy here. I don't have a better place to display it, but this here is a Triangle Sport line winder. And they actually, so what happened was this line winder was starting to have some issues with the foot pedal. It wasn't as sensitive as they would like, and so they ended up selling it to me. I'm not going to disclose the price on it, but it was a deal too good to pass up. I wanted to say thanks to Jason over at Fisherman's as well, and Mike, thanks for letting me know about this. This is pretty cool. I'm still working on getting my spot over here set up so that I can actually use this, but as we all know, as anglers, we like to flip our line and get as much life out of our braid as possible. This is going to help out a whole bunch, and then being able to, spool with a good line counter like this here, it helps with the accuracy of spooling up the reels. I can do bait casters on this. I can do my spin reels, fly reels, everything else. Mike got me set up with a whole bunch of different components for spin reel spools and all that stuff. It's set up where I can also do the bait casters and all that. So I wanted to share that with everybody because this is a heck of a find. It does a lot of work. So yeah, Willie, it looks like a 1970s movies projector, and it's about as heavy as one too, but yeah, the Triangle Sport. Once I get it set up and I mess up enough stuff and get it down right, I'll probably have to go over and watch Mike a few more times to make sure that I get this right. But super excited to have this because this is like the Tackle Shop Pro version. And when you have, I'm counting 20 reels right behind me right now. And as you know, Willie, repairing reels and everything else, I know spin casters aren't something you'd use this with, but for our big bait casters that take, hundreds of yards of line, this is the way to go. You were talking about how you spool up stuff, Willie. For the smaller reels, that's totally cool. But if we take like the Delmar 285 you sent me, that can take up to 300 yards of line. That's a lot of this by hand, and so this makes a big difference on that. So I'm going to set this back down, and that way I'm like I said, I'm still working on the shop and everything else, and getting that. But it's a really cool tool. Powered line winders, there's a lot of them out there, but to get a Triangle Sport, they make the best, or Triangle Manufacturing, I should say. They make one of the, they are the professional grade line spoolers. So let's see. Kyle, you asked if I tried the Suffix Advanced Copolymer line. I have not tried that. I have Suffix 832 braid on one of my rods, but I haven't tried the co-poly. I usually run the C21, the P line, if I'm going to run a co-poly. Um, I use the P line C21 copolymer, and this stuff has worked out pretty well so far. Mostly use it for like a bumper on for bass fishing if I'm running a rod and reel with braid. Otherwise, I'm running a lot of Maxima Ultra Green. I have lots of that. I prefer that, and it's pretty strong. So I was kind of curious what was going on with the boat, Joe, after you had those issues offshore. That is kind of a nail biter, actually, when you kept getting that overheating alarm. That's kind of bizarre, and that's a fairly new boat. Yeah, I don't know. Some people have stuff with that. They have issues with the C21. But I've used the CX and the CXX and all that kind of stuff too. So I just got a message that I have something in my beard, and I'm looking here, and I see nothing in my beard. So thanks, Josh. So we have another shadow viewer here. We got Josh. He's one of my other fishing friends. He actually shot some of the a few of the shorts and stuff. Actually, one of the shorts last week or the week before was Josh releasing his fish. He had got so it was a really nice steelhead that he had got, and I was there and got the short of that. So he's one of our other crew that runs incognito here. So it's a lot of fun. Let's see if he messages me. So, anyways, yeah, P line's been pretty good. The CX, the CXX, all that stuff, OtterCat, they make a really good, durable line. Biggest thing I think a lot of people forget, or maybe when they're new with it, is that fluoro, it just heats up so fast that you get that weakness, and that's why I like the Maxima Ultra Green. Some in certain cases. It can be stronger, bite harder into the braid and break actually. And I've had a few instances of that. Kyle, you like the CX Premium. CX is good. CXX, P line, all those work good. Last three fish, I wasn't running Ultra Green for my top shot. I was actually running the CX fluorocarbon 12 pound for my top shot or my bumper line, depending on what nomenclature you want to use. But and I didn't do that for any particular reason. I think I broke off, and that's what I had in my bag, and I just tied it on and did all that stuff. Yeah, Willie, the Maxima is the line that I told you to try. Maybe I can work something out. I'll go down and get some from Mike for you, and yeah, I can get you some. I know that you like 4 pound, 6 pound. Send me some of your line tests, and I'll get you some small spools, and we'll package them up and send them out to you. And that way you have some to try. We'll get like 150-yard spools. That's the smallest. Well, I guess they come in a smaller spool, but let's see here. What do I have? Obviously, this is way out of anything that you want, but they have like this size spool. This is 250 yards at 25 pound. I use this for egg loops and stuff like that for coho or Chinook or something like that. It's kind of light for Chinook, but yeah, 25 pound. I have that here to do that stuff with. So I'll go see Mike, and we'll get you a couple spools of that set up, and I'll get that sent out to you. That way you can try that. I think you would like it a lot. Mike runs it a lot. I run it. A lot of people have ran it for years and years. My friend Jim runs it all the time as top shot line even for offshore. We tie mooching rigs with it, and that's the beauty of that mono is that, well, number one, coho in the saltwater are not line shy whatsoever. I think I said, you could take a dog turd and paint it pink, and they'll eat it, out there as long as it's spinning right. So they're not line shy. So 50-pound test isn't out of the question for a coho offshore. Even for springers and stuff like that, running mooching rigs, 40 to 50-pound test. 50-pound big game for your saltwater coho, Matt. I run 50-pound Maxima. It's just the way they hit, the troll speed, the current, the waves, all that stuff. You just wanted to get that fight out. Shell, thanks for stopping in. Glad to see you're here. Thank you so much. Shell's down there at the bottom. Make sure that you go over there, check out her channel. Make sure you follow her. I don't know if I got a moderator on here that wants to share out some of the channel links or not, so folks can go follow people. But yeah, so Shell, glad you're here, listening and learning and doing all that stuff. Let's see. I'm just going over. So I'm doubling up here. Let's see. Mike just sent me a picture. Pic is from a customer. Oh, somebody with a mako shark here. So that's interesting. So wow, that's a really interesting picture. Let me pull it up here. If you can see it there. Teeth of a mako shark, for sure. Kind of a nasty little critter. Mike, where was that from? Just out of curiosity. Just go ahead and just text it over to me. That's fine. So, yeah, mako shark. Don't know where it's from yet, but maybe we'll get a bead on that. So, we'll see what he's got going on. All right. Great. Thanks, Earl. Thanks for moderating that. Everybody make sure that you get over here to these channels and give everybody a follow. 12-pound coho hits 4 mile an hour. Yeah. I was running 40-pound mono spinners and I didn't even think about it. And I got whacked and broke off. So I lost some really nice 3.5 spinners. So the blades anyways. I didn't care about the hooks or anything else, but you know, that was pretty disappointing. Get a fish on and just bang, it was broken. So 50-pound it was. That's what all of my stuff's tied with now. Yeah, I saw that one also, Kyle. So Kyle said, I'll just go over here and do this so people can see it. I did see that coho bent your spinner hook out. What kind of hooks you running on that? Just out of curiosity. So I've been doing VMC tech sets on spinners and spoons. Still yet to hook up on something this year with a spinner or a spoon, but I do like the tech set hooks. They're super strong and they grab hard. Or the Gamakatsu Big River Bait Open Eye. Those ones seem to work pretty good. Earl, I think you got everybody. I think you got everybody set up. I'm just going to go back up here. We had a whole bunch of stuff bombing through. Willie, he uses Trout Magnet SOS suffix on occasion, strength and less stretch. Yeah. I've been impressed when you spooled up that reel. Let's see. Oh, that's a Mike says that's a salmon shark from a customer. Well, Mike, the teeth don't look quite like a salmon shark to me, because the salmon shark's got more of a great white appearance. All right, education time. Here we go. Shark. Okay, let's take a look at this really quick. They have a broader tooth from what I recall. I mean, the snout looks right, but the teeth look kind of narrow. That's the thing. I need to find some images here so that we can share those. But, well, maybe they're kind of a cute little shark. Let me do this. I'm going to share my screen here really quick. Let's take a look. All right. So, when in doubt, Google it. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Oh, yeah, okay. Why do I remember their teeth being more prominent? I don't know, but this is a salmon shark, and we do have these offshore. I've caught one on accident halibut fishing out in the chicken ranch. That was interesting. It would be cool to intentionally target them because, I mean, they have the girth and the size of, all that. This was the one see that lady's poking it with a stick. It's just a little baby. Just grab it by the tail and slide it out there. Like I said, it ain't gonna whip around and bite you or nothing. It's just a little guy. Let's just go ahead and watch this really quick. It's not really Where's the video? Here we go. Go ahead and play it here. I'll mute it. It's a tiny little salmon shark, and the lady's just terrified of it. She's like, "Oh my God, it's a great white." You know, it's just a little salmon shark. Just go grab it and drag it back in. It's no big deal. He ain't gonna bite you. Yeah, he's flopping around a little bit. He's got a little sandpaper skin, but who cares? He's digging himself a hole in the sand there. Anyways, yeah, she was like trying to jab it with a stick or something. Anyways, so that was the salmon shark. Interesting. Let me go back out of the screen share there. Let's see. Just going through reading this stuff. Let's see. It's an R&B lure hook. Never had one bend out, not even a 13-pound steelhead. Interesting. Okay. I'm just doing that. Let's see. Can do. What's this? What's this chat? You don't come across as someone most Portland people would sub. Wrong hair color. I think there's actually a lot more folks up here that can do that. 23,000 people, at least in Portland, and just because they say something doesn't mean they're right. God. Here we go. We're going to beat up on the Portland people now. Oh, well, they deserve it anyway, so that's fine with me. Yeah. So, yeah, I was born in Portland, so, you know, I guess I fall into that Portland people categories. I just didn't inherit all the other things like Portlandia. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, interesting stuff. So that's pretty cool. Little salmon shark there. That's interesting. So Willie's sending me over some pictures of fish that were caught on the 4-pound SOS. Here we go. Mike, you're gonna like this one. Oh, come on, come through, come through. That's a big bass, Willie. That's a huge largemouth. That's pretty impressive. Let's see. There's another one. Well, Willie looks pretty happy about that one too. So, very cool. Yeah. So, just let me know if you want 4-pound ultra green. We can do 4-pound. If you want 6-pound, we can do 6-pound. If you want 2-pound, we can do 2-pound as well. So, like I said, I'll go. I'll get that stuff lined up. Which, while we're talking about bass, just because I can't wait for bass to come around. I think there's a lot of us that would say we want bass. I know Earl's got bass in his back creek. Shell, you like bass. I like bass. Mike likes bass. Earl likes bass. Ottercat, I know you like bass too. Kyle, you like bass. Willie definitely loves bass. I can't wait until that comes around. And so, yeah, Fern Ridge, probably going to be in the drop shot mode down there pretty quick. Mike, that's one to put on the list, by the way, is Fern Ridge Reservoir down in Eugene. I have no problem going down there. And, you know, Matt, if you're up to do a little bit of guiding, we would greatly appreciate some of your knowledge there. I can't wait for the river tigers, though. I'm a smallie guy through and through. Yeah, largemouth are cool. They eat big stuff. Matt, you're talking chatterbaits. I love chatterbaits. The Cabela's ad came in the mail, and I just start drooling. Even though I'm not gonna buy it there, I'll buy it over at Fisherman's because that's where Mike's at, and that's where I buy all my tackle at. They had the X wraps, which is just X wraps, man. My favorite absolute all time besides a Lucky Craft jerkbait. You know, just super hot way to go. Robo worms, Kyle. I love robo worms, Saturn worms. They work really good. Ottercat, what do you got for baits? Tubes are good too. Man, I wish Mike could type in here. That would be good. Mike, message me what your all-time favorite bass bait is. We threw spinner baits last year. I'm gonna guess he's gonna say a popper because everything starts out with top water. You know, top water for us is like, okay, that's fun. Usually I just hold dearly to my jerk baits. I can't get away from those frickin' jerk baits. But when the top water bites on fire, nothing beats a popper or a prop bait like a whopper plopper or chopo. Have a lot of fun with those. Square bill cranks, hula poppers. There we go, Willie. There's one that I wanna get some stuff though. I want to get some of those. Whopper ploppers provide exciting strikes. Willie's put the hurt on some bass with a hula popper though. That's an impressive little lure. And it's just the tiniest little thing with that little skirt on it, and you just pop, pop, pop right across the surface of the water. Top water takes. That's what makes bass fishing fun. Not necessarily when you got to fish them really slow or with slower baits or anything. But another one I kind of wanted to try was an A-rig, but river fishing at A-rig, I think I would cry or melt down if I snagged and broke that off. They're expensive. Man, I'd have to buy one and then use my wire former and see if I could make like multiples, but just putting out a school of like monkey milk swim baits and just seeing what smashes into that would just be absolutely epic. I mean, bass, oh, I can't wait for bass to come around. I'm really excited for bass. And I like, lakes are cool, but there's just something about creeks, like when Earl's out in the creek getting those largies. That's just so much fun. You're just out there in a kayak, move around slow, pop, go work some lily pads or a scum line or something like that, and just pop, pop, boom. Ted, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Off the Hook Outdoors. It's Ted. Ted, we're talking about bass fishing, actually. We're drooling about missing bass around our neck of the woods right now. So you came right at the right time. So Ted makes his own soft plastic baits. If you're not aware of that already, he does some really cool stuff. He does curly tails and worms and pretty much everything, craws. He's got some really cool, innovative colors and all that stuff. Ottercat, you just said Husky Jerk. I got a whole box of Husky Jerks back here, but I got them at Fleet Farm in Wisconsin. Not to disappoint Mike that I bought tackle somewhere else, but it was 1,800 miles away. But I got them for $5.99 a pop, and it was a deal. They were actual Rapala Husky Jerks, but they're the big ones. I was throwing them for muskie and pike actually. So, which is another thing this next year I really, really want to do. I'm going to get my Washington fishing license, and there's some waters really close that have tiger muskie. So, definitely looking forward to that. Throwing those jerk baits and big spinner baits and all that kind of stuff out there. Definitely looking forward to giving that a try. I'm excited about doing that. So, got another 30 days to go until I can get a valid Washington fishing license, and then I will be up in Washington. So for those of you that are up in Washington, I'll be able to come up there and join you guys with all the fun and merriment of chasing fish in your state as well, especially with like Blake and stuff. Ted, I'm going to probably have to ask, tap you for some advice on tiger muskie and, kind of see what tactics you're using between like soft plastics, jerk baits, or whatever you're running. I might have to pick your brain a little bit. Shell, yeah, you're up that way. I know you want to come down here and go light into a sturgeon, and you're always more than welcome to come down. I'll make sure that we make all the right accommodations for you. But definitely, getting all that stuff would be fun. 41-inch muskie on a Husky Jerk and 8-pound line. That's pretty impressive, Ottercat. That's a big fish too, by the way. That's a big, powerful fish. Was that a tiger muskie or just a good old stock muskellunge, like our good old classic? Al Lindener gets excited on Lake Mille Lacs, going ballistic, hooking a muskellunge. Yeah, Ted, definitely. And I've watched some of your other videos on it too. So. But yeah, I definitely want to bounce some of my rigging off you and just to see like, hey, this is going to work. This isn't, rod actions and things like that. Just make sure that you get everything dialed in. So yeah, bass. Anyways, let's get back to bass because I'm super excited for bass because bass are nonstop action. So yeah, the top water bite, you can't, native Tennessee River muskie. So it's a full-blooded muskellunge. Yeah, man. I've been on the boat when 2 of those have been caught, and they are just absolutely nuclear. Um, yeah, you're running 10 to 15 inch baits. I know. That's the crazy part. I think I sent a picture to Mike when I was at Fleet Farm. I held up a spinner bait and it like was the size of both of my hands. It was just this massive spinner bait, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. It's just like it was like, the one that you would throw for bass is over here, and then there's the musky one. It's got like a 16-aught hook on it and huge skirt. Big massive skirt, huge willow blades, like the like ones we would run like out here in the big river. It was insane. Like there was so much with it. It was just totally nuts. But yeah, I've heard of people using like a whole raccoon tail. my friend that lives there in Wausau, he was like, "Oh yeah, there's a muskie shop about an hour north of me." And I meant to go up there because this was like muskie central USA, like so cool. Anyways, um, they had all these cool lures and stuff, and I never made it up there. Next time I go to see Cameron, if you're watching this, next time I go see you, let's load up, let's head north. I want to go up to that muskie shop because this place is like it's on an island in the middle of a lake, and it's all about muskie. Matt, thanks for stopping in. Good luck to you this weekend. Get out there and be safe on the water. So thanks for stopping in, Matt. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so bass fishing, looking forward to that. Throwing the big baits, throwing the jerk baits, throwing the top water, even running the soft plastics, everything else. There was multiple times where, Mike and I went out and it was just all a top water and jerk bait bite last year. But Mike was doing good, just working some soft plastics, as Yamamoto Senkos and things like that, where they were hitting. So yeah, Matt, herring on Sunday, man. I think I'm gonna be steelhead fishing. I'm not gonna get down for herring this weekend, but maybe later next week. I don't think they're gonna be gone. Hopefully, I can get down to the dock and go jig some up. Yeah, and Earl, you're going tomorrow. But we got everything popping all of a sudden. I haven't heard a lot of action on spring Chinook salmon yet. They're here. We've had one run up over Willamette Falls so far. We've had a couple over Bonneville Dam. It's only a matter of time until the switch flips, and then we start seeing actual greater numbers. And I'm hoping that they come and that they start really getting laid into. I'm waiting to see if Mike shoots me a message over here and says, yeah, they got some stuff going on over here. Um, they both keep saying there's something in my beard, and I see nothing in my beard. Problem with having a beard. I think they're screwing with me here. They're probably messaging each other back and forth behind that, but I swear I don't have anything in my beard. I can't see it. I don't see it on the camera. I don't know what they're seeing. Oh boy, it's a Friday night, isn't it? But it's getting really exciting to see what we have coming up. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a really good March. I think Steelhead's gonna be great. We're gonna start seeing a bigger pickup of salmon moving in, and by April, bass time. So we're gonna have just all kinds of stuff to go out and chase. It'd be like, hey, you want to go salmon fishing? Yeah, let's go salmon fish. Oh, there's nothing biting. No, let's do this. Two gray racing stripes in my beard. Yes, there is. Yeah, I'm aging out, Willie. Weed Hopper, thanks for stopping in. Glad you're here. Old timers around here used to tie a red rag on a heavy pole and wade out and just thrash the water with the rag. Yes. Muskie are kind of out there. They're just one of those absolutely bonkers, insane, aggressive fish. I mean, I look at a smallmouth as having the same aggression as a muskie. It's just getting the muskie to bite. That's the big thing. Is like you got to get those muskie to bite and clamp on. That's kind of one of those things. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm definitely looking for that. So Weed Hopper, Brandon, Tuesday, March 5th, 1 to 6 p.m., another dip on the Cowlitz. If you can get it off work, go dip some smelt. I think that's going to be it. So I was hoping you were going to stop in. I announced it earlier in the live stream, but yeah, go get yourself some smelt and go dip. Yeah, the figure eight. The figure eight. So my friend Cameron got one next to the boat, starting a figure eight, and we couldn't see. The water is very tannic where we were fishing, and there in Wisconsin. So but what I mean by tannic is everything is very reddish colored. It's clear, but everything's red. There's a high amount of ferrite in the in the rock there. It's been long known as you know, a you know, iron mining area basically. But it's a very tannic water, and we were kind of, it's getting towards sunset. We'd fished for like 9 hours, hard 9 hours, and we were coming around. Got back in this little cove next to a pile of logs, and he was reeling up, and he just started to form a figure eight, and this 48-inch muskie just came up and hammer smashed this lure. It's called a Lake X Fat Bastard. Let me look that up really quick, and I'll share it with you. I'm going to type that in just so that you can see what this is. It's basically, this is a whopper plopper on steroids. It's a massive whopper plopper. I'm going to go right over here. So let's take a look at the images for this guy here. Yeah, there's this gives you an idea of the size of it. It's absolutely huge. It's basically a giant whopper plopper, and we were both running these. He was running one in this kind of bumblebee color pattern, and I was running one more in this black with the white pattern. It didn't have the orange, it had a white chopo tail on it. But these things are absolute musky destroying machines in the summer. They're huge, and that they're absolutely massive. Anyways, yeah, big, huge chopo, and so we were using those. He hit the first one. For whatever reason, we were over there was some folks out back. They were playing what do they call it, bags in Wisconsin. They were playing cornhole in the backyard. We threw one. He threw his right out next to their dock, and another one just came up and erupted and took it right next to the boat. Both were boat takes. Freaking bonkers. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. So Lake X, they make the Dr. Evil, the Fat Bastard. Apparently the guy that makes him is a big Austin Powers fan. So you'll get a lot of that going on there. Yeah, Brandon, there is wipers over in Anna Reservoir, and there's some folks out there just for fun that like to take those wipers and go dump them in the Willamette River too. It's been becoming an occurrence after I talked to ODFW after I caught one, that there's been some folks dumping them down in the Portland Harbor because they basically told me that they had folks running pro trolls and the stuffer baits like spinfish or Brad's cut plugs, and they were actually catching some of those wipers down in Portland Harbor. They're sterile, but they're there. They're not supposed to be there. They're highly predatory. They're super aggressive. Yeah, they like to eat salmon and steelhead smolt and everything else in between. If we have some sea run cutties moving through the mid-Willamette system, it's definitely not a good thing if they're getting out in the Columbia. Well, who knows? They're almost as bad as letting northern pike go in the river. So they're hyper aggressive. We do have shiners and some other northern pike minnow, the smaller fry and stuff like that they'll eat, but yeah, not good. But they do fight like nobody's business, and they do slam jerk baits. When I caught mine, I thought I actually hooked a jack at first, like a little jack springer, just by fluke. But no, it ended up being that. And I thought it was like a state record crappie at first. I couldn't believe what I saw. I was like, oh, I was just kind of like, I'd never seen one in real life. I've only seen them in pictures. So it's kind of like, it caught me off guard for sure. So, Anyways, guys, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark here. I don't want to be the rambling, endless rambler, but hopefully Earl shared, I know for a fact Earl shared out everybody's channel links here. And so hopefully everybody was able to go back there in the chat, find everybody, um, and get subbed out and everything else. If you haven't, make sure that you go back through the chat and sub. Also, if you are just getting in here or you've been here, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the video. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. But I think this weekend is going to hold some steelhead chasing. That would be a lot of fun to be able to go hook up into multiples. But as we know, it's steelhead fishing. It's not steelhead catching. So I believe that we may have one in our future this weekend. I don't know if we're going to have 2, 3, or 4 in our future this weekend, but I think we might have one there. So hopefully that's the case. And hopefully, Earl, you stock up and jam your freezer out with the herring. Matt, I hope you get out there and stock up your freezer too. Kyle, it looks like, yeah, you got pike minnow and trout streams. Yeah, they're rough. Don't hesitate to whack them and, go turn them into crawdad bait or crab bait. I think you could probably talk to Earl, freeze them up, and he would take them. But anyways, hopefully, I hope everybody's going to be out there trying to get on some fish this weekend. We're fighting blowouts, everything else. But that's all I got for tonight, guys. So what a fantastic live stream. I can't tell everybody thank you enough for showing up here to visit during the live stream. As always, if you want to come on the live stream, just shoot me a message and say, hey, I want to come on your live stream. I did restart my Instagram, by the way. I will be actively hunting out derelicts on there, though. You can always go over, follow me on IG, and then you can shoot me private messages. But if any of you are interested in coming on the live stream and talking, I'll strap on the headphones and the little mouth microphone and do all that stuff, and have you guys all on. So Earl, Shell, Kyle, Joe, Brandon, Matt, Jake, Mike, Josh, everybody else that's on here tonight. Willie, thank you so much for joining tonight. I really appreciate everybody. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Be safe out there on the water and go catch lots of fish. We'll see you guys all next week.